Hi, Rosanna. I believe that was your name. If it's wrong, I really apologize. But Rosanna, I talked to you earlier today about sending you a video on how you guys can improve your online presence and be found on page one of the Google search page. I just want to go over three tips, we call it the three pillars of SEO, and that's content, citations, and backlinks. And I'll make this as quick as possible. Content is pretty much anything on your homepage here. It's all the text and even the pictures here. With the plumbing industry, Google usually likes to see about 1,000 to 1,500 words of text on the homepage, and that's really kind of subjective in a way. It depends on your top competition. You always want to beat out your top competition when it comes to content and text. But generally speaking, about 1,000 to 1,500 words. This gives you plenty of opportunity to fit in these buyer intent keywords and keyword phrases that people are searching for when they're searching for your services. I've got a tool here called Ahrefs. I went ahead and plugged in your website in there. And in the past 30 days, past month, your website was found for 33 keywords and it was clicked on 98 times because of that. So I plugged in one of the top competitors right now for the Raleigh area, and that's Midtown Plumbing LLC. And I'm using Raleigh because Raleigh is by far, it gets searched the most for plumbing services by a long shot than any other town, city in the triangle. So I plugged them in here, and when we look at their, that's this search section right here, they were found for 80 keywords and their site was clicked on 261 times. So what we can do is we can actually click into these keywords and we can see which ones are getting all the volume and the ones that they're being found for. So plumber Raleigh is the number one buyer intent keyword that people are searching for when they're searching for plumbing in Raleigh by 450 searches in the past month. Plumbing Raleigh, 350. As you can see, it keeps going here, and it's well over 1,000 searches when it comes to Raleigh plumbing, different combinations, right? So we can go into your keywords and see if you got those. You do have the number one. Yep, it looks like you've got the number one and two. There's some other ones you don't have. So you could go in there and actually put those, but it's not just putting them on once, right? So we'd want to go in and see how many times they have these highly searched keywords and keyword phrases on their site. So if they had like that plumber Raleigh on their webpage 4 times, we want to put it on 5 or 6 times. And that's what's good about these pictures is you can save these pictures as keywords, and when Google sends out their bots and scours all these pages, they don't see the picture, they see the keyword. So that adds as a keyword. So you want however many keywords are the get all this search volume, you want all those keywords on your site and you want it on more times than the top competitor. And Google will they'll rank you accordingly. Next, I'd like to go over citations. To put citations into context, I brought up a Google search results page. So Plumber Raleigh is at 450 search volume. The first thing that pops up will always be ads if there are ads. And with plumbing, there's always going to be ads. Ads are hit or miss. If somebody has on the people that have on their ad blockers aren't going to see them. They get a relatively low click through rate, so about 5% or less of people searching for any given term up here are going to be clicking on one of the ads. But what I want to focus on is right underneath the ads is the map pack. Usually there's three, there's four here just because this is an ad, so I want to disregard this. But these are your organic ones. And there's many factors here, but the main driver are citations. A citation is your business's name, address, and phone number on an online directory such as Yelp, Angie, yellowpages.com, whitepages.com. There's a ton of them. We can find out what and how many citations each of these businesses have. So, for example, if Midtown Plumbing had 200 or 250 citations, you'd want to get 300 or 350. You see what I'm saying? Just like Just like we were talking about the keywords where you want to beat them out in that content, the keywords on the content on your page, you'd want to do the same thing with the citations. And the more citations you have, it just builds more and more trust with Google. And by the way, whereas the ads get about 5% or less of clicks by people searching for this term, this combined, all three of these get about 45%. So that's a big deal there. But now underneath that, this is the organic Google search results list, right? And right now, number one is Midtown Plumbing. Michael and Son is number two, but it's very competitive. That any given day it can switch, right? So backlinks are the main driver here. And a backlink is essentially another website on the internet that has a link to your website on their website. So when somebody clicks on it, it takes them to your website. Google uses this as they use it to determine whether they're going to push you up in the rankings or down in the rankings. So the more relevant the site that's linking to you is, the more relevant it is to your industry, the more authority and trust it is built with Google, the more views it has, the higher it's ranked. Google is going to use that as basically a popularity contest. It's like a referral. They're basically referring you through that link. Google sees that and it gives you credibility and authority. And the more of those links that you have from sites like that, the more Google is going to push you up in the rankings. But the opposite is also true. The more you, if you have a bunch of these backlinks from these sites with low to no relevance to your industry, they have like no authority or trust with Google. They're ranked down like the 10th page or something, get no views. If you have too many of those, Google's going to push you down in the rankings. So this is where this tool comes in handy as well, because I can go. So before we were in this section, so now this is the backlink profile section. So this is y'all. Right now, there's 317 active backlinks to your site, right? This Midtown has got less than you. I know that at 199, but they've they've definitely got ones that are pushing more authority. You probably got some spammy ones. Everybody has some spammy ones. I mean, they're impossible not to get. But we can actually go into your backlink profile. We can go into their backlink profile. But I'm more interested in their backlink profile. So we can go into their backlink profile and see which sites they're getting backlinks from that's actually pushing them authority, right? And we can also see which ones to avoid. So see that right there? That's where it says spam. That's an example of one we don't want. But we want to find ones that that are passing authority, grab those, but not just from the top site. You want like the top 3 to 5 sites. You go in there over time. It takes time to acquire good backlinks, especially the good, highly authoritative ones. Go out there, reach out to those websites, acquire these backlinks over time. You end up matching these top websites in your industry on backlinks, and you end up competing with them for that top 5, top 3 spot. But what can push you over the edge is after you have all those, you acquire those backlinks, you go out and you get more backlinks from highly authoritative sites. And month after month, you just pile on these backlinks and you end up taking up that number one spot, and you just keep it because you just keep piling on the backlinks. So that's basically all I have for you today. I hope you found value in this. If you'd like to sit down and talk about more of what we can help you with and do together, please give me a call at 910-551-2006, or you could just respond to the email. Or if this is something you want to implement yourself or even pass on to your current marketing company, feel free to do so. But either way, I thank you for your time and have a good day. Bye-bye.